The Survivor Specialists are back, and for the first time in the history of this channel, we are going to have Australian Survivor coverage. I guess we technically threw in a Patreon preview. I guess it's just Patreon preview. Threw in a Patreon preview, whatever you want to call it, a couple of years ago now, or a year ago. I guess it was last year when I started covering Australian Survivor over on the Patreon. I'm still doing that now. I'm about to finish All Stars next week. And wouldn't you know it, the timing just lines up perfect for McKenna and I to both podcast Brains vs. Brawn 1 over on the Patreon. So, yes, we've been doing it on the Patreon, but this is the first time we actually have it on the YouTube channel. And people have been asking us to do this for a very, very long time. And I kept putting it off and I kept saying, no, I only like US Survivor, whatever. And I got to the point where I'm like, okay, you got to keep up with the times. And honestly, Australian Survivor has some really good moments through the seasons I've seen thus far. I'm joined by McKenna. McKenna's going to be doing the coverage with me throughout the season. So now for the next couple of weeks, however you want to look at it, Will and I will be doing the traders. McKenna and I will be doing Australian Survivor when it officially starts on the 17th. Blake and I will be doing Deal or No Deal Island, which this Wednesday we have Philip Solomon from that show on the podcast. And we're going to be doing Survivor US preseason coverage. So my goodness, do we have a lot coming up on this channel. But McKenna, what's going on? How you feel to be here? You covered a season.
Yeah, with Alexa. So during COVID times, people were like, watch Australian Survivor. And you were like, heck no. And Alexa was like, I guess I'll do it. And so she asked me to cover it with her. And we watched 2017 together. So if you want to dig deep into the archives of the specialists, it's there. It's a playlist. And so that was the first season I had ever watched of Australian Survivor, and then didn't watch a single season again until Blood versus Water that John and I covered over on the Patreon. And that had like Sandra and Nina on it. So that we kind of like tied that into, the US Survivor of it all. And then I've watched a few seasons as of recent. But I wouldn't say I'm well versed in Australian Survivor. So like Phil has the beginning knowledge of Australian Survivor. I have the end, and somehow we'll align.
Well, and by the time we get through, I mean, by the time we get to Australia versus the world, I'll have seen every season. I'm starting to watch at a faster clip and record the episodes a little bit ahead of time here because I'm trying to catch up a little bit more. But I feel like I have a pretty good understanding of Australian Survivor because I have a pretty good understanding of Survivor in general. That means that you all are actually going to get to hear my thoughts on 24 people playing Survivor, why I've been talking about that nonstop for what Survivor 50 needs to do. And everything I said at the beginning of this podcast was kind of a lie. I said, this is the first time we're having coverage. First time I'm having coverage on the channel. Plenty of people have been covering different things. Live. That's true. Yeah, 2017 was great though. 2017 is like maybe the best season.
Top tier.
Yeah. So I was really happy with that one. So far, yeah, I'm doing All Stars right now. Everybody hates All Stars. Maybe it's because US All Stars is one of my least favorite seasons of the show. I actually kind of like All Stars. I've been really enjoying it. And I know that's going to make people mad. I know Austin Garso, who made this beautiful background and the thumbnails and everything, he hates All Stars. But here we are. Chris Mack talks. I would love to get into Australian Survivor, but I have no idea how I'd be able to watch it. So in terms of watching it, I'm getting it off of a Discord. And like they have like a Google Drive that you can watch off of. I know there are channels, there's
the Tribe
websites.
Has spoken Facebook group. Join that, and then I believe they post links in that Facebook group. So
this is for live.
I believe so, and past. I think they have like a Google Doc, something going on somewhere. So the Tribe Has Spoken has a lot of that, and maybe some other people can sound off in the comments if they have other ways to watch.
Yeah, because I feel like, it's new for us too, in terms of how our coverage is going to look. It's going to just be one episode a week. We're not going Shannon Gus levels of psychotic, how she's doing this year, every episode, which is just mind blowing. Good for her.
No, thank you.
Yeah, I mean, Shannon's on a different level. I can't get quite to her level.
I mean, we'll be having like 6 episodes a week because of Patreon coverage too.
That is true. Yeah, we would be losing our minds. Yeah, we'd be losing our minds. Well, over on Patreon, we only do 1. We're doing 3 episodes. Oh, yeah, I get what you're saying. Yeah. It's 3 episodes, but it's just one podcast. But it's It's going to be something. And so our goal is to put an episode out on February 17th and then do the next episode after the other two air. So we'll at least do the premiere, but we got to figure out how it's actually going to go. So bear with us early on because logistically we're still trying to figure it out because we don't really know.
Time differences and all
The
that.
Survivor Simp, so pumped for this. Thank you. Julian S. All Stars AU is good. Yes, it is. This is Jairo D. Garcia. Brains versus Brawn 2. Phil, you're going to love a good bone season of Australian Survivor coming up after All Stars. He's been kind of my eyes throughout this entire thing, telling me nonstop. He might have almost spoiled Christy as a winner, but I already knew Christy won, so that's fine. But yes, no spoilers on other seasons if you can avoid it, so I can at least get through them. And then Jairo says, Phil, which 2020 is the best one? AU All Stars or Winners at War? It's Winners at War until, even though I don't think Winners at War was great, I have to go with Winners at War because it's 20 US winners. And in terms of All Stars on Australian Survivor, it's like, I've already forgotten who half the players. Here we are diving in. McKenna made a very good PowerPoint. You're making me look like crap with my US Survivor 48 one, where I just took the pictures, put their names and age. But we don't have names and age, huh? Because Australian Survivor does it a little bit differently. And it's
I had to go like into the fandom page. I got age, and then their player card kind of has their what they do for a living, and I got where they live, but they all live in. I mean, they live. A lot of people live in the same places that they were describing. Obviously, not in the same towns or whatever, but like you'll see a lot of repeat locations. And then they don't have like hobbies or like a lot of defining characteristics, so it's like a bunch of quotes of things that they say.
Gotcha. I mean, that makes sense. And McKenna pretty much put this together like a school project. She has different topics for each person. This is a legitimate PowerPoint, which is good because we'll be able to go off of it. I'm coming into this pretty much knowing one player is a witch, and that's all I know. That's pretty much what I'm coming into knowing. And they're all Australian. That's the other thing that I know. So there we go. We don't have Canadians interrupting to dominate on Australian Survivor. So that's at least good. All right. I am going to, Gannon says, Phil, whatever you do, skip AU Survivor Blood versus Water. I do everything for my patrons. And
Blood versus Water is okay.
Yeah, I'm going to power through. Don't you worry. I'm going to do every season. And once I catch up, the patrons will be able to be like, all right, we don't need to be $10 patrons anymore. But if you want to hear the coverage, you can get all the previous episodes as well. And like I said, I'm about to finish All Stars. Anyway, let's get your PowerPoint up. Let's take a look at this. So there's your whole cast. Wow.
Pretty.
24 people. I have to say, first of all, Australian Survivor episodes, what I have found as I've been watching, especially because I'm trying to binge, they are very long. And I do find at times it's way too long, especially when there's 24, 25 episodes in a season. But it is crazy to me that US Survivor has not said, let's try to do 24 players. It blows my mind because I feel like 24 players has worked so well for Survivor Australia, even though there's some people who are forgotten.
Yeah.
I feel like Australian Survivor also really over edits certain characters purposefully. US Survivor has kind of seemed to find a balance with the 90-minute episodes. I would love to see them expand to 24 people because I think it works. And
I mean, let's even get back 20. Like, we can start there and get back 20 and 2 tribes. Like, any of that would be okay too. I do feel like there are some people that are just like, once you get to Blood versus Water, I mean, there are people that just don't exist on the season. Then all of a sudden they go home and you're like, okay.
It was season 2019 has a player who doesn't get any confessionals and is in like 7 episodes.
It
just goes home.
Crazy. Yeah. But 24 people is just daunting for like getting to, as a podcaster, trying to like, who is that guy that did the thing over on, Brawn Beach? I don't know. Yeah, sure, him. Like it gets tough to decipher who's who, at least for me, for the first little bit until we like get rid of some people. But yeah, I'm surprised with 90 minutes that Survivor just hasn't gone back to putting more people in or like switching things up, adding more twists. I don't know, giving more time. But
yeah, and especially with Survivor 50, that's what's on my head, right? And it's like, if you're going for Survivor 50, we know who all 24 people are. So just put them on, put
Mhm.
24 people. But I agree. It is daunting. And every time I start a new season, I feel like I'm starting completely over. And remember, as I'm doing this literally every Friday, I'm putting out an episode.
Yeah.
So when I finish one season, it's like, all right, start the next one. Whereas with US Survivor, like I finish China, I'll wait a couple days, I'll wait a week, whatever, start fans versus favorites, because China is what we're on right now for
Mhm.
Every Season Matters. It can be very tough when it's like, okay, I finally got to know these people. Now I have to get to know another group. And at least I'm podcasting 3 episodes at a time, and I'm doing it by myself. So I'm really only talking for like 20, 25 minutes. But I am excited to cover a season live and see what that's
Mhm.
all about, because there have been some moments in some of these other Australian Survivor seasons where I'm like, man, I really wish I was podcasting it live, particularly the Daisy blindside in All Stars, which happens in the 3rd episode, I think. One of the best blindsides I've ever seen executed. And I wish I was covering that live, because that was just awesome. So, all right. You ready? Here we
Yeah,
go.
let's go.
Brains Tribe. So we're starting with Brains. Brains were the winner of the original Brains versus Brawn. So
Mhm.
looking to get that W a second time here. We have a man in a leather jacket who definitely looks like he rides motorcycles more than Brains.
He's
Yeah.
a film director.
So now film directors are smart. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. I just have to say that when I was going to film school, everybody told me I was going to amount to nothing, and I was doing that because I wasn't that intelligent. Here's a guy in the Brains Tribe who's a film director.
There we go. Us film school people gotta stick together.
That's it. That's what we have, and that's why we're podcasting nonstop, because this is it. We're trying to pay off our student loans with our hobbies.
Yes, exactly.
That's it. So we're gonna go in. AJ Antonios is the first. Look at just look at what McKenna did here, though. Okay, because I'm gonna do this real quick. Okay, I just want people to see this in case you're just like tuning in, because I think that this is important for people to see, just so you can understand the difference here. Now, granted, I did mine in 20 minutes, but that was what I did. Okay, everybody see that? And this is what McKenna did. So she also may be working with better pictures and stuff like that, but I'm just saying mine's not looking too good.
I'll
Right,
make the one for the next Survivor season.
yeah, I'm gonna need. I mean, I literally made it in like 15 minutes on that day when the cast was released, because Will and I had to go an hour after, and it was just like chaos. Yeah, look at all the compliments you're getting over here. All right.
Thank you.
So we got a poker player, AJ Antonios, 35, Sydney, New South Wales, Survivor superfan, and has big plans to take on the game. Quote, the hardest part about Survivor for me will be sleeping outdoors. I love the cold and I'm a big snow person, but I can't stand being cold.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Okay, whatever that. And then another quote, I want to be remembered as the best Survivor player ever, not just in Australia. I really want to be the most I'm sorry, what am I reading? The most fun, entertaining, strategic, everything. I want it all together. I want to be that Survivor player that's just undisputed the best. This gives me Andy vibes. Not Andy from US. I am going to talk in terms of Australian sometimes.
Yeah, I was gonna go AK.
AK for sure, but Andy literally, did you watch Andy's season? Andy was on 2. I haven't
Yes,
seen
I
the 3rd.
watched him in Blood versus Water and then got a recap because he's in David's first season, right?
Yeah, he's in
Golden
David's
Dog-
first
Yeah,
season.
yeah. So I watched a David recap. And so I saw a little bit of Andy and he played very hard, very fast.
Mm-hmm. And he kept saying, I'm going to be the best player ever. I'm going to be the best. I'm going to be the first one to win Australia and US, all of that. So I get that kind of vibe from the poker player here in AJ. You did most of the research here. So what did you get from AJ?
That I feel like he's gonna be just a flame out. He's gonna come hard, and want to play, and then the people are gonna feel like he's sus and want to get him out. And like I feel he could make some moves, some big moves, and get them pulled off, but I don't think he has longevity with it. He'll get that fame for an episode, 2 episodes, but I don't think he'll have that longevity.
Okay. I'm going to take your word for it. I mean, poker players, I feel like generally don't do that well on Survivor, whether it's Australian or regular. Although his is poker champion. He's not just a poker player. He's a poker champion. Yeah. I feel like if you want to be remembered as the best Survivor player ever, that means you're going to come out way too hot. And I agree with you. I think you're on to something here, McKenna, with AJ. So there's our first player. I'm going to go through these a little bit quicker than we do with US, because Will and we spent like 50 minutes talking about one tribe the other day, and that was 6 people. And I was like, McKenna, we're not podcasting till midnight. So.
No.
All right. Allie Kettle. She is an AI expert, 31 from Brisbane, Queensland. Queensland, sorry, has a rescue pet kangaroo, which would be a lot crazier, I feel like, if she was on US Survivor than
Yeah.
Australian Survivor. Um, her quotes, if you had to put me in a pigeonhole, it would just be as an Australian who loves the outback, craves the ocean, and anything in between is just me. Another quote, I've been nicknamed Trumpet Mouth by a friend because I have a loud voice. I
Yeah,
like
I think
those.
we just might get like her being either loud at camp or she might be a caller in a challenge, but I don't feel anything else from her. Like I don't see winner, I don't see loser, I don't see like I feel like she's just going to be mid.
I was going to say, so if you don't win Survivor, though, McKenna, you have to lose. There has to be one
Well,
or the other.
sorry, first boot, like, I don't
Yeah,
see
yeah, no, I
early
get it.
boot, but I don't see, like, late game. I think she's gonna either get, like, screwed over or, like, early jury.
Okay. Yeah, I will say I feel like predicting Australian Survivor, it's the first time I'm doing it without it being done, but I feel like predicting Australian Survivor's got to be harder than US because the twists are so much more random.
Oh,
So
yeah.
much more random. And
Mhm.
like some of the best players, like you were talking about AK, like AK's so good at Survivor and he barely did anything. And like, he didn't make it that far in his first season. I think about Phoebe a lot. Like Phoebe
Mhm.
is so good at Survivor, but used like the game is so long in each of its elements that you could finish 16th and do amazing. And people be like, oh, you only got 16th. Like, but I beat 8 people. So,
Yeah,
okay.
exactly. I think I played in a cast of 28 or something like that and got 16th, and I was like, "What? I did, like, so good
Yeah.
because I beat so many other people."
Exactly. It's like I don't know. I completely agree with you. It's like this show is you have to reset your brain because there's people who finish
Mhm.
16th where it's like they would have been last place on some seasons of US Survivor.
Yeah, exactly.
And instead they're doing a lot. I wanted to throw this up too. Goopula 360. Alex is my favorite so far. We haven't gotten there yet. But then love that this is for AJ. Love that he's a poker player. AJ is interesting. So we haven't gotten to Alex yet, but I wanted to throw that in there.
Mhm.
Austin says Phoebe is top tier. So that makes me feel better. Adrian Celeste wants to know my thoughts on Shawnee. I just watched Shawnee's boot in All Stars. Shawnee is awesome. Shawnee's
Mhm.
incredible. I wasn't sure why people loved Shawnee as much as they did early on in her first season. And then once she started getting going, once she got her Margies, I was all in on Shawnee. And yeah, her second game is so good. I like that she's actually really good at challenges. That comes out of nowhere. But we're talking about the Brains vs. Brawn 2 cast. What's going on here, everybody? Come on. Allie Kettle is that's a heck of a picture. That's a heck of a headshot.
Mhm.
Did you so these are the pictures that they actually put out for the players?
They no, I think there's regular beach photos, but these are on the Instagram, and Austin and I
Oh,
were like, "These are just so much cooler." And
so
then
much
it
better.
also has, like, she's an AI expert, and it says it on there. It was a one less
It's like a
bullet that I
playing
had to
card.
do, and yeah.
So
Yeah, it
did
was
Austin make this or did you?
no, Australian Survivor made the,
No, I mean the PowerPoint. Was it
I
you or
made the
Austin?
PowerPoint. Don't
Okay,
give the
okay. You and
boy any
Austin
more
were
credit than
talking.
he
I just wanted to
has.
make sure Austin got his credit where it was due.
No, this is my PowerPoint. He made everything else for it. He did the background, he did
Yeah, exactly. Austin's over here doing everything. All right, third person, Indy Sala, business development manager, 45 from Townsville, Queensland, also a stand-up comedian. Okay. Quote, on a scale of 1 to crazy competitive, I'm probably psycho, extremely competitive. I don't actually want to be. I'd really like to be less competitive, but when it comes to this game, I'm so excited and ready to play. Not being able to brush her teeth is her biggest fear and wants to play like Kirby from Titans versus Rebels, direct, strategic, honest. That means nothing to me. So McKenna,
So,
talk on how that's going to work for Indy.
yeah, so I was trying to think of a Kirby relation to try and get you in the mindset, and I think it's kind of like Dom from US Survivor,
Okay.
where Kirby was like an outright threat, but she partnered sort of with another outright threat, and they kind of were going at each other, but then like made amends, and she's comparing herself to like a big powerhouse kind of player, and with this competitive nature, it almost like I don't know if that Michaela side where she gets
Mm.
frustrated at the end of challenges if they don't do well. So I don't know if Indy if she can contain herself and be as strategic as Kirby, she will be a big player in the game. But if she bubbles over, I don't know how far she'll get.
I really like her quote. I really feel for that. Like I connect with that a lot.
Mhm.
Being like psycho competitive, but don't not wanting to be, just like can't turn it off. I feel
Yeah.
that. Like I'm the person who when we put up a Deal or No Deal Island episode, I'm like, did it do better than last year? Did it do better than last season? Like, what's going on? I get competitive with myself, so I like that. And the one thing you can say about I feel like Australian Survivor compared to U.S. Survivor is older players do just as well as younger players for the
Mhm.
most part, at least from the seasons I've seen. And so maybe Indy has a shot, older player. She's 45, but being that
I
she is an
wouldn't have
older
guessed that by that
no.
photo, and she might pull a Sue here and be like, "Oh, I'm a lot younger than, what I say I am."
And this one would be absolutely believable. So,
Uh-huh.
all right, next, Kaylin Lockhart, 27 years old, PhD student, Brisbane, Queensland, plays rugby, surfs as and is a pro paddleboarder, ex-engineer, PhD. Oh, why am I having a hard time talking? PhD student using AI to scout and map vegetation by drone around Antarctica. I not knowing much about Antarctica, I doubt there's that much vegetation. And then, quote, people often misconceive me based on my appearance and the way I talk. If I'm with the Brawn tribe, I'm going to be talking about footy and sport. And then with the Brain tribe, I can talk about literature and get a bit deeper. The fact that he is a pro paddleboarder, how does he end up on the Brain tribe? I don't care that he's a
It
PhD student.
it has to be the PhD student, right? And, like, his PhD, he's using AI to map Antarctica, and if he's using AI, that's a direct connection to Allie, who's an AI expert.
Mm,
So they could, have that bond there if they link up. Um, for him, I feel like he makes a deep run. I don't know, I just feel that about him, but doesn't win. I don't think he's the winner, but I think because of like that smile and he could have that charm that he could make those social connections.
Eeny, meeny, miny, mo reviews says he seems like a swap, but not going to make it very far in this game. Uh,
Mm.
And then also, I guess I have to throw this one up. Adrian Celeste says also, P.S. Love to Indy right now because she's going through treatment for cancer. So did not know
Wow.
that. So when did filming for this season take place if she's going through treatment for cancer now?
Um, it was before Deal or No Deal Island because I think Deal or No Deal Island led into Australia versus the world.
Okay. And this season filmed before Australia versus the world or after?
Correct.
Okay. Before. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I like Kaylin here. I feel like Kaylin's a total package. I mean, I feel like if you're a professional paddleboarder and you are a PhD student, that's good. I mean, I feel like that has to be working in your favor. He's definitely not going to be bad in challenges.
Mhm.
They do tend to do a lot of water related challenges on this show. So I feel like that's good. If he plays rugby, that means he can
Rugby, yeah,
beat
there's
people up.
scrappy challenges too.
Yeah.
So
Okay. Good feeling for Kaylin here. Um, Karen Guna Gunatilik. I don't know how to say her last name. She's a doctor, Karen. 30 years old from Mildura, Victoria, orthopedic surgeon. Quote, I just want to do something that's different. I've had every part of my life planned for the last 30 years. Not a single thing has gone wrong, and everything I've wanted to happen has happened. And that's because I like planning. I like control. I like having everything organized in front of me. And this is so left field of anything I've ever done. One, that sounds like a disaster to me. But two, that sounds like somebody who, if she can get through the first couple of days, could go really, really deep,
Mhm.
especially if she gets into a good alliance. But it does worry me if she's too much of a fish out of water. At this point, people have been playing the game for a long time. And with how long these seasons are, I could see that totally biting her in the ass if it's just like it just becomes too much for her early.
Yeah, I really like her because I like she's had all of this planned and now she's ready to just take a break from it all and be like, all right, I'm going into chaos and this is so out of my comfort zone. But if she's able to give up that control and find that alliance and let them maybe lead a little bit, then I think she could make that deep run and cut people if she needs to or what have you. But I think giving up that control will do her a lot of good in the game.
Do you think she will though?
She might because it's so out of her element, but I don't know. Anybody who says, like, "I like control," or in my daily life, I control the household or whatever,
Mhm.
I have a lot of trepidations that they're actually going to, not be, "All right, we need to do this, we need to do that," or even around camp being like, "Get wood," and, all that, so,
We
I don't
saw
know.
Annika get in trouble with that on US Survivor, right? Like she
Right.
was too bossy for Sam, air quotes. Um, so all right, let's move on to the next one. Kent Miller Randall, 54 years old from Melbourne, Victoria. He's a business mogul. Quote, when my father died, he died very wealthy and told me not to chase money. So within a few years of him dying, I chose to basically wind back and take a few months off a year to travel the world, fly helicopters and jump out of them. And he wants to play like David, aka the Golden God. So here's my question. Okay. Here's my question. No, I know you're already doing the neck thing.
I'm out.
Here's what I have to say. Okay. And I don't want to judge this Kent guy because all I'm doing is looking at his nice smile and he's a business mogul. I appreciate the fact of changing your life, right? Of being like,
Mhm.
I'm gonna go and I'm gonna do these exciting different things. I'm gonna travel the world. I'm gonna do
With
all
the
that.
money his dad left him.
With the money your dad left you. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like when my dad, and my dad's still alive, but like when my dad dies, he died pretty poor. And like he told me not to chase money. And so I went back to work the next day because he didn't leave me anything. That's how I feel about Ken.
I just don't feel like he'll have enough to relate to people. He's gonna be like "Oh, yes, when I was in this place, when I was in that place," and people are it might come off like pretentious, like it comes out of a good place, but I don't know how well it will connect with people. When people hear business, I work in business, I'm a CEO, like that automatically is like, "Oh, you don't need the money." Oh, and then when he's telling stories around the campfire, some people might not be able to connect with like this lavish travel.
My other thing is he can't be as good as the other Kent on the show. I don't know if people actually like 2017's Kent, but I love that Kent.
That cat is great.
Yeah, I don't know. Do people love Kent or am I the only one who loves Kent? Because I
No,
love Kent.
Kent
Um,
Kent is great.
okay, good. I'm glad to hear that. Also, I'm doing this very blind because I can't look stuff up because I don't want to be spoiled on the other seasons. So
Mhm.
as I'm going through, I'm really forging my own opinions and then I like say them and I will get comments where I'm like, oh wow, maybe not. Like maybe I shouldn't have that opinion. But yeah, this Kent, look, that's a great quote. Good for you. It's easier to not chase money when you have money. That's all I'm
Yeah,
going to say. That's all I'm
yeah.
going to say. So I don't know. Maybe he's somebody you drag along for a little bit. He wants to play like David. Don't tell anybody that.
Mhm.
Adrian Celeste says, I see Kent being the player that thinks they're such in a good position, but other players start clocking them, but they're unaware of that. I could see that.
Facts.
But then eeny, meeny, miny, mo. This is what I said. He might be somebody they drag along to the end game
I
as a shield because everyone's going to want to get him out because he already has money. So
But
yeah, it could
that's
go
the
either way.
kind of people you need to cut. If everybody wants to take him to the end, then he'll win.
Mhm.
Like I I don't I don't know. I feel like that would be such a bad strategy. Oh, he's not gonna win. He's not gonna win because he has all this money. Now he's in final tribal council and pitching his case.
Yeah. And then I'm looking at this from Adrian Celeste. So far, I can see people vibing with Karen, and I could see a potential where she is underestimated and becomes that surprise strategic player over time. That's
Mhm.
like the Pia vibe, but I also feel like you're reading too much into the fact that Pia exists. That's just my opinion on that one. I feel like that's because of Pia. That's Pia is making you think that. But let's get off of Ken. Let's get off of Ken. He's
Great.
got things to
Sounds good
do.
to
He's
me.
got places to go.
The witch.
The witch. So Laura Darris is a witch. Somehow that puts you on the Brains tribe. 25, Melbourne, Victoria. Super fan with puzzles and backyard challenges. She has over 250 crystals, uses spells on the daily, and knows how to manifest through her spell work and magic. Quote, my friends say I can convince a fish it has legs. I can convince anyone of anything. I can read how people perceive the world, and I can use what they value against them. Sounds like a witch. What does this mean? Like, did you look more into what this
No,
means?
no, I didn't wanna
Ruin
I
it?
didn't need it. Um, but, like, if she can actually work this magic and convince people that, fish have legs, then more power to you, but I also feel like when you have this kind of fish out of water character, they don't necessarily assimilate well, and it's harder for them to have longevity. So I just hope she doesn't come out with, "Hey, I'm a witch and have 250 crystals and I use magic."
Mhm.
And comes out with, like, something, I don't know, different where it's like you can see her weaving the web of convincing people to do her bidding.
Yeah, I'm very curious what this is going to mean. Like, because at the end of the day, is this just something that's being overblown because it's funny? I mean, the most talked about person on the season is the witch. I mean, that is the most talked about person so far, right?
Yeah.
And so is that something Australian Survivor is just doing and leaning into really hard, and then Laura's going to come out and be a totally normal person who's just like maybe Kendra ish, where
Mhm.
it's like, hi, I'm a little bit out there, but I'm not that out there. Like me
Yeah,
and Will had Kendra on the podcast 2 seasons ago, and Kendra's a very normal
she was
social
great, yeah.
person. She just really like is into astrology. So
Mhm.
it's like when I see witch, I'm like, what does that mean? And then Adrian Celeste says, now, not because she's a witch, but I'm really liking Laura. She's either going to be a surprise that goes deeper, so kooky where others are turned off. I'm getting Kendra vibes off first. So there
There
you
we
go. I didn't even
go.
see that. Well done, Adrian Celeste. I'll tell you what, me and Adrian are on the same page here. Laura, I don't know what the hell to do with
But
Laura.
I really wanna hold Gannon to this. Ain't no way Crystal Girl is winning the season. I'll need a shoe if she does. So, if she wins, Gannon, we're gonna come for you and give you a shoe.
I'm getting a Scott Pollard size shoe too. Like you're
Yeah,
getting a size 23, size 24.
perfect.
All right. Yeah, Laura, it's this character. I mean, that's
Mhm.
that's what this is. Brains Tribe. Okay, sure. Shoulder shrug. They weren't going to put her on the Brawn Tribe, but like, sure.
It takes a lot of brain power to use that much magic.
Yeah. Yeah, sure. Okay, next. Logan Johansson. So Logan is an AFL WAG.
Do you
What
know
is
what that is?
I know it's
I'm
Australian
guessing
Football League.
AFL is American Football League, but
What's
wife and girlfriend.
Oh, okay. 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 So that's what that means. Wait, really?
Yeah, that's what I asked my fiance, and she was like,
Wife
"Wife
and
and
girlfriend.
girlfriend."
Wow. Okay. 27 Melbourne Victoria admits to no filter and a face that will give away all her thoughts studying a bachelor of business with a major in marketing. Quote, I've pretty much given up my 20s to have kids and been with my husband since I was 20. I don't regret anything and I love my life, but it's time to do something for me. So this is Monica Culpepper if Monica Culpepper played Survivor when she was in her 20s, not her 40s.
You know what? I can see it, and I did say I think she makes a deep run and probably definitely jury. So hopefully it's Monica Culpepper the second time and not the
Mhm.
first time.
Yeah, and Monica Culpepper the first time only lost because Colton was a psycho. It was the only reason. If it wasn't for Colton, which by the way, like now we're rewatching Fans versus Favorites.
Mhm,
My wife and I, my wife's never seen it, so I asked
mhm.
her after the Johnny Fairplay boot. I'm like, was that a quit? And she was like, no, it was more of a forfeit. Like he didn't really want to be there, but it's definitely not a quit because they could have just not voted him out. And so now that we're talking about Monica Culpepper, it makes me laugh that Jeff won't bring Johnny Fairplay back because he quit, air quotes, but he brought Colton back after Colton
He had
quit,
tummy troubles.
quit. He quit twice. Colton Cumbie is the only person to quit twice, Survivor. Anyway, yeah, Logan could kill it. I
I
mean, Logan
think
could
so.
absolutely kill it. And the one thing I have noticed with Australian Survivor, and maybe it hasn't been the case in the more recent seasons, because again, I'm watching in order and I'm purposely trying to stay away from spoilers, but
Mhm.
maybe she does really well because the Australian version of this show seems to really worship kind of the AFL athlete type players. They seem to do really
Yeah,
well.
it's a lot of because a lot of the challenges are so physical. It's like anything that US Survivor does, it's like one step further
Mhm,
physically. It's like this much heavier, this much
mhm,
bigger. So I noticed that too, where like so much of the challenge construction is bigger. You have to climb over this bigger structure. So
mhm.
I think it does lean more towards the more physically fit people for sure.
Yeah. So I feel like, and like, there's a respect for it that you don't get for athletes in the US version. So I could see Logan doing very well
Mhm.
on this season. Jairo D. Garcia says Logan could be winner vibes. Logan will be the winner pick like Rachel or Shaheen. So there you go.
There you go.
Gannon says he thinks people underestimate her.
Probably.
Probably. All right. High hopes for Logan. Moving on. Max Wills, primary school teacher. That is, I mean, you can't be a primary school teacher without being the brains. That's what people always say. My mom's a preschool teacher, smartest person you ever meet. Anyway, 28, Gold Coast, Queensland. Biggest fear of having a crab crawl over his face while sleeping. I think about that with the spiders. That would freak me out. Air quotes. I know this, not air quotes, regular quotes. I know this game. I've been watching with my dad since I was a kid. People might think I'm always joking around, but I'm calculating. I'll be out here. I put this fun energy out for a reason to bring up tribe morale. But the truth is, I'm 5 steps ahead of everyone. Yeah, Max is so far the best of this tribe, in my opinion.
I love Max, and he is my male winner pick for the season.
Wow.
I am putting my eggs in Max's basket. I think just being a primary school teacher, dealing with younger kids, having to have kind of a lot on your plate with them. Plus, I mean, I feel like he's charming, he's cute, he's good looking. I feel like that could also aid well in his game. I know there's no beauty tribe, but Max could have been on that tribe instead. And I don't know, there's a vibe about Max where I'm like, that's the guy.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny you say that because I'm reading I went through your PowerPoint a little bit. This is the first time I'm really reading it. I just read that and I'm like, this guy gives great vibes. He's probably going to win. And it's funny you say that too. I'll have to come up with a different male winner pick then. Although I am going to ask you what your winner pick is for this tribe for male and female, just like everything.
Male and female for this tribe.
I'll make you do it eventually. Don't worry. It's coming.
Okay.
It's coming up on the spot. Eeny Meeny says, I really like Max. Everything about him screams that he's going to go far, but I think he's going to get cut right before the finale. And Adrian Celeste says, Max is definitely going to be a character for sure due to his promo for the season, but he's either going to go far or be a huge flame out due to his personality. Gannon says Max has big winner vibes. Look at that. Everybody's in on Max, which means if we did a boot order game for this, I would put Max at number
24,
23, 22, 21.
I didn't read anybody else's thoughts on anything. This is just my impressions and thoughts.
This is really the first time I'm looking at it. I'm doing a very like basic. There were 24 people and you sent me a whole bunch of links with no information. I was like, okay, I guess I'm just winging this. That's it.
There you go.
Yeah, that's it. So here we are, feeling good about Max. Miles Kua, financial analyst, 24, Sydney, New South Wales. The brainiest thing about me is that I love statistics. I love running statistics, learning statistics, using statistics. Pole dancer. A financial analyst, pole dancer. Another quote, what makes me a brain is that I'm going to be taking every problem on analytically. I'll be approaching each tribal after crunching the numbers and finding my best path forward. A lot of assumption here for Miles that he will make it through a tribal to be able to crunch the numbers. Although I will say, if you're a pole dancer, you have some strength there. You do. I just recently, have you seen Honora yet?
No.
So I just watched Honora, and like Mikey Madison did like pole dancer training for that movie. And like just seeing like what she's able, I'm like, that's insane.
Yeah.
Like, good for her. So Miles is going to have some strength here, which is good. But too nerdy?
He just gives me game bot vibes. Like I don't have an Australian Survivor equivalent, but gives me Spencer Bledsoe vibes.
Riemann.
Yes, exactly. And I just feel like he might scrape by on physical, like maybe help in the physical department, but maybe late pre-merge first juror. I don't think he lasts that long in the game.
I'm up in the air. I'm up in the air. From this little bit, I'm up in the air. If like, I feel like he's going to be stronger than you would think, unless like, you know, or does it give Denise from China vibes of like, I've done karate and I almost have a black belt, but it's like at the end of the day, she would know the pressure points and she could probably kill me with her fist, but she'd also have to be like near me to do that. Is Miles like a pole dancer who started pole dancing a week before going out on Australian Survivor?
Tune in to find out.
Tune in to find out. Tune in to find out. Pretty much everybody so far is saying goes out early, although Austin with the important comparison, financial analyst Emily Flippin.
I mean, hey, you never know.
You never know. Rich Hughes, Film
Love the
director. There you go.
jacket.
There's your film director. 38 Melbourne, Victoria. Some people have a calculator in their mind. Mine is a paintbrush. I love coming up with ideas, and I'm pretty good at it. I've been told I stir the pot my whole life, and sometimes I don't even know I'm doing it. I don't mean to, but it happens. I'll be doing that on the beaches. Life's more fun when you stir the pot a little bit. What has Rich Hughes directed?
I don't know. I love his creative side, and I think I love that this quote of, some people have a calculator, I have a paintbrush, but stirring the pot and not knowing it makes me very nervous with, like, him being an ally and people wanting to have him as an ally because he could say something like a Laura Bonham and be like, "Yeah, Vetus, we're gonna vote you out."
Yeah.
And then where does he go from there?
So he directed a movie with Antonio Banderas.
Wow, look
Yeah,
at that.
exactly. So if you can direct Antonio Banderas, like, you should be able to have some control here. I feel like his thing, he doesn't worry me too much. I understand what you're saying, like, being worried that he doesn't realize he's stirring the pot sometimes. I just feel like he's just one of those artsy creative people. And
Yeah.
artsy creative people just tend to kind of put their foot in their mouth sometimes. But I do feel like he's going to have a good personality that's going to get along with pretty much everybody on this tribe. I don't see him ending up
Mhm.
in the minority unless he overplays early, but I don't feel like he's going to be super aggressive.
Yeah, he doesn't give off that, like, macho bro kind of vibes. He because he has that, creative mindset. I think he's just, "Talk to me about your feelings,"
Yeah.
and I just happen to have some muscles.
Yeah. All right. Good feelings for Rich. Moving on. Zara Kalianitis, vice president of the PTA.
Yeah.
Is this literally the Parent Teachers Association, or is this something different in Australia?
No, I'm pretty sure it's
No way.
yeah.
No
It has
way.
to be. I didn't Google it, but it has to be the PTA.
There is no way.
The Australian PTA.
I got to look this up. Now my computer is going to crash because I'm on Survivor Wiki, so you might need to talk.
Okay.
Let me see.
She has to be I mean, it doesn't say anything else like that, but she's a
As the vice
stay-at-home
president of the
mom.
PTA, Zara has 3 degrees. She has a Bachelor of Arts in Political Science, a Bachelor of Law, and a Master of Economics and International Finance. She's a qualified solicitor and a qualified financial planner.
And a
These
stay-at-home
strategies,
mom? Yeah.
I'm just like reading through. This is on her other page here. The strategies that you have to use to manage the PTA are always being open to everyone's opinions and trying to make sure whatever they are voicing, they are heard, and I will give everybody in a tribe a voice. Sure, maybe being the vice president of PTA is the key to winning Survivor. I don't
It
know.
could be, or it could get you voted out because she's a stay-at-home mom, but she's the CEO of her household, is definitely the most well-organized house in Brisbane and the cleanest, most pristine. She's very organized. Like, that gives me, like, another, boss babe kind of vibe of, okay, sweep this, get the firewood, all right, you go get water, and these aren't her kids. So I just worry.
Yeah, that's what I'm worried about. I feel like she's going to be the person who's like, I have a really good idea. I'll make sure everybody gets their voices heard, but I'm going to be the one who's telling everybody when to talk.
Mhm.
Bye bye.
But she's an ex-cheerleader, has run the New York Marathon, so, I mean, she does have some fit aspects to her, but I just worry, that she's just gonna boss people around too much and not, like, mean that she's bossing them around,
Yeah, I
just
get what you
like
mean by that. Yeah. Yeah, it's just going to come across that way. I don't know. Zara is like a true 50-50. Zara is a true 50-50.
mm,
Because if she uses her skills properly, she'd go very far. If she doesn't, she's screwed.
yeah.
Is that the whole tribe? That's the whole
Yeah.
tribe. All right. Let's go back to the beginning. Page 1. Who's your first boot from this tribe?
I hope it is Kent.
Okay. And give me your male and female winner from this tribe.
Alright, it's definitely Max, and I'm gonna go with Karen. I
Okay.
wanna give her some hope because I just really liked her. I feel like it's probably the right answer would be Logan, but I wanna give Karen some love.
So that's Logan in the middle, right?
No, is it? Yeah, I didn't realize she was blonde in
Yeah,
her.
because that's Zara on the left in the dress, right?
Yeah. Allie is down squatting.
Yep,
Karen, Indy is all the way on the
on the
right.
right. The witch is putting a hex on poor your Kent right in front.
Yeah, goodbye.
All right. If that's Logan in the middle, Logan is absolutely the female winner pick from this season.
Yeah.
Absolutely. From this tribe, at least. Yeah. That she is definitely who I'm going with. Rich, that's who I'm going with. I'm going with
Alright.
Rich as my male winner pick here. And you think that Karen has a shot, huh? First boot. Done. Out. Out. And if it's not her, here's the fun part. If it's not her, it's Laura because everybody's freaked out by Laura. So they vote her out and she's done.
I mean, we'll never know.
We
Well, we
will
will
know.
know. But, like,
We're gonna know in 2 weeks.
yeah, that's true. But I don't know. I really just need Kent to be first.
So James is saying, I think it's Kent who met Jeff and Mark Burnett. What does that mean?
Oh, yeah, one of them said, I think I might have noted it in here or not. That's one of the castaways met Jeff and Mike and Mark Burnett and talked like Survivor with them.
Okay.
But I can't remember who it was, and I might have included it or not included it, but
Well, we're gonna find out with the Braun tribe. So there you go. There's our early boots for this tribe. I don't love Max's hat. That worries. Wait, that's not Max? Oh my god! Now that I'm seeing them as people, okay, yeah, that's AJ. I don't like AJ's hat. I'm out on AJ's hat.
because it flipped up in the wind.
Yeah, I'm out on AJ's hat. All right, let's go over to Braun. Look at that. We're ripping through one more time so you can see her work. Here we go. There's the Braun tribe.
Mhm.
All right, this tribe I feel like I recognize a little bit more. These people have been using the promos more, haven't they? That guy Nash, right? That's
Uh,
Nash right in the middle with his arms folded. I feel like he's been in every promo I've seen.
sure.
Okay, we'll get to him. Ben Violet. He's a stonemason, 45, Sunshine Coast, Queensland, dad to 3 teenagers. Quote, I'm a huge risk taker in life and will be in Survivor. Anything I've done in life that's had huge rewards has made me nervous. I'm out of my comfort zone coming on a Survivor and I'm excited about it. Next quote. So my plan on Survivor is to get answers from people. I won't be locked into one strategy. A Survivor is a malleable game. But if I can get what I need out of people, then it will make it all a lot easier. I feel like those two answers contradict each other. Am I wrong in that?
He just feels like a cookie cutter Survivor player. It just doesn't give me anything negative, doesn't give me anything positive. I think he's going to be a solid guy in the season, but not nothing screams, this guy's got what it takes to win.
Yeah, and when I see the whole risk taker in life, anything I've done in life had huge rewards, has made me nervous. I'm out of my comfort zone. But like, it seems like he wants to take risks, right? It says he will be a risk taker in Survivor, but then he says it's a malleable game, so I'm willing to move around. Seems like you just want to be a risk taker. I feel like he's going to overplay for sure.
I mean, yeah, he could try and make that one move and then gets got.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Or like it tries to get out of underneath someone's thumb and then, he gets cut or something like that. Could be like an Eric Hafman.
Wow. What a name drop. We did a tell-all with Eric Hafman if you guys want to listen. Anyway, what a name drop. Eric Hafman. Most people are like, what? Eric Hafman. Yeah. Eric Hafman.
I love Yoey.
All right, next. Candy Rule, model. 25, Sydney, New South Wales, had a Survivor-themed 8th birthday party. Quote, you can be mentally and physically tired getting accidentally pinned by a tailor or someone burns you with a curling wand. You just get on with it, and that's what I'll do on Survivor. I grew up dyslexic. I wanted to prove to myself that it wouldn't hold me back, so I got a literature degree. It was a very expensive attempt to prove it to myself. I love that. That's funny.
Mm-hmm.
And now she's a model. And so in the picture, that's her on the left then with – no, that's not her on the left.
She's in the middle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's giving Courtney Yates vibes in that picture. Okay. Wow. And then Hyro, this is insane. That came in immediately after I said Courtney Yates vibes. So we were thinking that at the exact same time. Holy crap. I like the tongue-in-cheek sense of humor there of a very expensive attempt to prove it to myself. That makes me
Mhm.
happy because it now that she's a model, it almost makes me think that like maybe the literature degree wasn't worth it and she didn't prove it to herself. Like that's kind of the subtext I'm getting from that quote, but I like it.
Mhm. Yeah, I'm going with Candy as my female winner pick overall because I picked, Sarah from 2017. She was a
Oh, I
model.
loved her.
Yeah,
And she's
yeah,
gonna be on versus the world, right? Or no?
yes, and
It's
I'm so
crazy they didn't bring her
excited.
back before that. She's so good.
I don't think she either they didn't, or she might not have wanted it until
Mm.
now, I don't know, but, yeah, I picked Sarah, and so I'm just going off the model vibes and going with Candy, as my female winner pick, and she seems pretty badass, and I mean, just growing up dyslexic and be like literature degree, not just like I'm just gonna get through college and get a degree. No, it's gonna be in reading,
Mhm.
which I'm bad at.
Yeah, no, I'm in on Candy here. I feel like Candy's got some hope. Weird that she's on the Brawn tribe. Um, I don't know. Like to me,
Models
doesn't
can't be brawny?
no, she just doesn't scream Brawn to me. She doesn't,
Well,
and
did
it
Alicia scream brawn to you?
who?
Alicia?
Absolutely,
Blondie?
100%.
Okay.
Yeah, 100%. I feel like no, for me, it feels like they wanted to do a brains versus brawn versus beauty, but Australian Survivor is making the smart decision of doing one versus the other, so they
Mm,
can do more physical and exciting challenges rather than one versus one where you can't do anything head to head. So, yeah, she would have probably been on the beauty tribe, but it seems like she is going to be more funny. So, and then she got her degree. See, that's the other thing that makes me think that prove she didn't actually prove it to herself because if she did that, wouldn't they have put her on the Brains tribe?
listen, I don't know. I didn't cast the season.
Next, Jesse Noonan, pro
Can you
skater.
believe alright, there is another Noonan on this cast and on the same tribe?
This is like when they did Kim Powers, Kim Johnson. Like, why did you have to put them? No, not Kim Powers, Kim Johnson. They were on opposite tribes. There was one season where there were two people in the same tribe with the same name, right?
Yeah, but this is last names.
Oh, that's weird. I mean, also, I guess that won't come into play though, right? Because we'll all know we're not going to really know the last names.
No, it's the other one is going by Noonan because there's another Laura.
Oh God. Okay. Survivors back themselves in a hole. 34, Gold Coast, Queensland. Father with a baby on the way. Quote, I want to make the tribe laugh. I want everyone to have fun. I want to take the edge out of situations to get people more relaxed and chilled. And I want to make some moves and be a little cheeky. To some people, it doesn't look like he's got his life together, but I have a successful business. I have a house, a beautiful family, and support myself fully for my own business. I'm definitely smarter than people think. Yeah, I'm in on Jesse. I feel like he's going deep, even if he doesn't win.
See, I don't know. I feel like he's the life of the party that either gets got or is too much for people and is just like, this guy's too loud. But I don't think he's one of the early boots. I think they just might be like, all right, we can't deal with Jesse anymore.
Unless in my opinion, unless he gets swap screwed, he is going to make the merge. He'll be on the jury.
Mhm.
Like, I feel like that's how this would have to go.
Yeah,
He'd have
yeah,
to
I
get
can
swap
see
screwed.
that.
I
I
don't
can
see
see
him
that.
being an early boot by any means.
Yeah,
Look at
for
that pose. He just can't believe it.
sure. Mind blown.
Blown. Kate Glavchus, DJ slash dancer. Okay, so this was the one who was on the side. 26, Melbourne, Victoria has OCD. Look at what I'm wearing on the first day. It's rhinestone and denim. My whole outfit is just to look like a girly girl. I think they are going to get the wrong perception. My perception of bronze is my mental strength. It sometimes takes me 10 goes to pick up a drink or sitting down on my bed can sometimes take me a whole hour, but I push through and I won't let it stop me. What?
Because of her OCD.
Oh, okay.
So,
I
yeah,
was so confused by that last quote. That makes so much more sense. Okay. I
yeah.
did not put those two things together.
I like would love for Kate to go long in this game because I would love to see that like representation on TV because she's also saying, this could be a focal point within my story and I think it would be interesting to see that because we haven't really seen anything like that as a storyline. It's typically like I'm gay and I knew at a young age, or this is my religion. We don't really talk about mental illnesses at all. And so I think having this storyline would be really awesome to bring awareness and see like how she, lives her life as a person, and
Yeah.
I have high hopes for her.
My problem is she's talking about the rhinestones and denim. It's to look like a girly girl, but they're going to get the wrong perception. My whole issue with that is if you lose the first immunity challenge, they might just vote you out because they have the wrong perception. I don't know if you
Oh
want to
no,
come
there's
in.
someone way worse on this tribe.
Okay. I haven't gotten there yet. I haven't gotten there. I mean, yeah, if she gets into it, she'll last, right? But she has to get into it, and it does worry me. The
Mhm.
outfit worried me from the picture. I was like, that's a first boot. But
Yeah.
you're saying there's somebody way worse, so we'll get there. All right, I have to believe you. Kristen Alston, aviation firefighter, 43, Sydney, New South Wales, traveled to every continent. Ooh. I'll be utilizing many of my workplace skills, knowing how to relate to people, knowing how to act on my feet, working under pressure, and just being physical. Common misconception about me is that my kindness is a weakness. I'm kind because I think it's nice to be kind, but if you don't deserve my kindness, I cut you forever. That's nice. What do you got about Kristen?
She doesn't pop off my screen. I wrote down it could be first boot potential, and I think it's because like she either could be too trusting or she's like, you've done me wrong and now I'm cutting you, and that's it.
And then
So
that ends up screwing her because everybody's like, why is she being like this? We got to get her
yeah.
out. Yeah, I
Yeah,
could see that.
exactly.
I could see that. I could see that. I think that's fair. I think
Mhm.
that's fair. Yeah, Kristen, this is an interesting one. Interesting. I mean, aviation firefighter certainly fits on the Brawn tribe.
Mhm.
It will just come down to social. And I always talk about firefighters normally have very good social skills.
Yeah.
They normally do. So, Kristen, I have higher hopes for Kristen than you do. But then again, you think Karen's your winner pick on the other tribe, and I have Karen going out first. So we'll see.
High hopes, high hopes.
I hope. Yeah, I actually I think Kristen's got a shot here. I like Kristen. Cut
Yeah.
him forever. We don't need him. The beauty is in Australian Survivor, you get to vote out 12 people before it even matters. So just cut him. Next. All right.
Noonan.
Noonan, Laura Noonan, footy fanatic. That makes you a Brawn because you love footy. All right, 27 Melbourne,
She
Victoria.
works at a footy club.
Oh, okay. Everyone knows my family, and then there's me, and nobody knows who I am. People are shocked when I say I'm Laura Noonan, and there's not just the boys. I felt like I didn't contribute much to the family name. People thought I was the hired help. What do I need to know about her that I'm not getting from that quote?
Jeez. I just feel like she's going to try to she is a Survivor fan, and people know her also in her town as, like, Laura the Survivor fan. So she is a big fan, but I just feel like she's going to try and cling so hard to make a name for herself that it might be hard for her to continue in the game, and I fear for her if she doesn't do something in the game and is one of those that just gets taken along and we still don't know her name,
So
you
what
know?
I'm worried, do we know? Do you know who her family is? Because I tried to do a quick Google
Nope.
and could find it. Yeah, so I guess that's like a very Australia specific thing because I'm curious what that is. Um, I'm curious because yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like I said, being a footy fanatic, that worries me. Like, how are you a Brawn? Like, what is she going to do? If she's talking about here, they thought I was the hired help. You know, everybody knows my family and they can't believe that I'm a part of it. That doesn't necessarily give me good feels for Laura here. Is this who you're saying is way worse?
No, there's some people on here that are worse than
Okay.
I have some people that are like, didn't give me the great vibes, but Laura just seems like she's wants to make a name for herself, and that might push her to either make it in a way that she doesn't want, or that she's just gonna try and keep clamoring to make a move, and I don't know if that'll work out for her.
Yeah. Okay. Morgan Mitchell, Olympic sprinter. That's Braun. 30
Mhm.
from Melbourne, Victoria, newly engaged, wants the money for the wedding, racing since 2012 and made 3 world championships, 2 Commonwealth Games, and 2 Olympics. There's Olympic Morgan who will help win challenges. Then there's social Morgan who is fun and chatting to everyone, but they'll both know when to take a back step and when to be front and center. Olympic sprinter automatically screams good things for me. I don't know if it
Yeah,
should, but it
the
does.
split personalities gives me Drew and Basile vibes.
Mm,
And I mean, Drew did very well in the game. So we'll see how it does with her, if the split personalities or if like the Morgan personality will shine through and it's not like two kind of separate people that are in challenges and are around camp, because that could like divide some people, but we'll see how she gets along with everybody. I think you said before with someone that it'll come down to the social, and I think for Morgan it will come down to the social because they'll want to keep her for physical.
Yeah, Adrian Celeste Morgan so far has given me the winner energy. I really like Morgan. It does come down to, though, is she going to be somebody who on her tribe doesn't do as much and is like, I'm going to save it for challenges, but I have my social skills. And then other people just do get tired of that and just say, you're not actually as social as you thought you were. I don't know. I feel like why wouldn't Morgan do well on this season?
Yeah, I don't see a reason where she doesn't do well.
Yeah. Okay. Morgan, do us proud. And right now she's pregnant. So Hyro says Morgan is similar to Kenzie vibes. It could be a pregnant from other vibes that we saw after Survivor 46 winner last year. So everybody knows if you're a Survivor player, you can only get pregnant after if you won.
Sure. Yep. Facts.
There's Nash. See, I told you. This guy's been on everything. Nash Gendo.
Oh, yes. Him. Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
36. He finds
an
idol, I'm pretty sure, and like wears it around his neck.
He's like faking an idol, right? He's claiming that he found an idol and it's his strategy. It's like a fake idol, I think.
I don't know if it's real or fake, but he like walks around in camp with it, and that's what
it's fake.
I saw.
Yeah, okay. I'm going to be very hard to read.
I mean, skull, so it's similar to David's fake idol where it was a skull.
Okay.
So I don't know.
Yeah, his quote is, I'm going to be very hard to read. I mean, when I'm always smiling, you're not going to tell whether I'm part of your alliance or not. I'm just going to be telling you what you want to hear. And with my confidence and with my charm, you're going to believe everything I say. Admitted that he will probably be stirring the pot. I mean, based on what we're seeing right off the bat, he seems like he's stirring the pot. It seems like his strategy is to come out there. I'm pretty sure, and I could be reading this wrong. Maybe somebody in the chat can help me out, but I'm pretty sure that Nash came out, has a fake idol, and is telling people it's real right off the bat.
Yeah, I mean, he will become like the biggest threat of the pre-merge, and if he gets out of the pre-merge, we'll see, but he's just, I don't like watching players that are like so gung-ho so fast.
Yeah.
And especially like threatening, like it feels like, it doesn't feel like a Tony where there's like some comedic aspects to it. It feels more like a Russell Hantz.
Yeah, I mean, if he's overplaying as much as it seems like he's overplaying right off the bat, he's doomed.
Oh, and if he knows Ferris from last season, 100%, he's gonna be like big, guns a-blazing.
Okay.
So.
Okay. I don't have high expectations. My expectations are low.
Huge flame out vibes.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. All right. Paulie Michael, paramedic, 36, Sydney, New South Wales. I'm a city boy. I like my city stuff. I go on vacation, but I've never lived in this environment. I've slept on a beach a few times. Sure, that's cute, but this is going to be hard for my job. I must connect with people quickly and make them feel at ease. I mean, you're also connecting with people who are like, please, for the love of God, help me. So that's different. I feel like, you know, in this situation, they're not going to be looking at you like, okay, you're the difference between me living and dying.
Yeah.
But that paramedics, man, I mean, that's a stressful job.
You have to connect with people really quick. I feel like he could do well. He also feels like he could be Peter from 2017.
That was fun.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like he could go deep and nobody is like realizing that he's there, and then he's there and it's like,
and he's not a threat to win ever.
Right.
Yeah. I could feel that.
He just feels like a nice guy.
Yeah. I feel like there's more to him than Peter. I mean, Peter was so young. I do feel like this cast is older than a lot of Survivor casts, but you know, he's at least older than that. So I give him a little bit more hope than Peter. I mean, Peter walked on an island and never had a chance to win.
I'm doing my best, all right?
I'm just saying, you see a P first name, you see black hair, you know.
Yeah. Peter.
I don't know. I mean, I'd go, he could go either way. I mean, I do like the paramedic job. I feel like the paramedic job is a good thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll see.
Mm-hmm.
PDD, Paul. NPL football head coach, 50, Rockdale, New South Wales, works as a salesman for a brewery by day and a soccer coach by night. PD played for the National Soccer League and represented Australia. I've always got a plan A and plan B. Now plan A is our game plan, but plan B is the to-do plan. Wait, I'm sorry. Now plan A is our game plan, but plan B is to do plan A even better. So we aren't going to lose. How is that going to work for him in this game if he just wants to continue to make his plan A work? Is he going to be bashing his head against a wall?
I feel like PD is either like he's too headstrong and can go home early, or he could be like a Mike from 42.
Yeah, I don't get Mike from 42 vibes from his answers. I also don't feel like head coaches, I don't feel like that's a good job for a game like this. I don't feel like it is. I feel like it's a bad job for a game of Survivor. People don't want to be told
Jimmy
what to do.
Johnson?
It's hard for them to turn
They
them off.
would have taken him to the end.
Who?
Jimmy Johnson.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Jimmy Johnson had it in the bag from the start. Everybody couldn't. Half the tribe was against him just because he was telling them, hey, this is your strength and this is your weakness. I don't have good vibes. I mean, I don't think he'll do bad. I don't see him as the first.
PD is my lower tier of people here on this tribe for sure.
Definitely somebody who like doesn't make it too far. I don't know. Mm-hmm. Ursula Rose, power lifter, 35, Canberra, Australian Capital Territory. I'm very honest, sometimes too honest. It's gotten me into trouble a few times, but I just prefer to be honest. If people can't handle it, that's not my problem. Funny, I have a very dry sense of humor and loud and bubbly when I want to be. That's not good.
She is very abrasive sounding, but I want to see how this plays out, because if she can gain allies, I feel like she will be solid because she is very honest, and I feel like that could gain a lot of trust with people, but
they don't know she's honest. They don't know that yet. You know what I mean? They have to learn that about her.
And a dry sense of humor can either get everybody laughing or everyone going, oh.
Yeah, I'm over this. Yeah.
So I don't know where Ursula will land, but she is another storyline that I'm interested to see where it goes.
I will say Ursula to me goes early. Ursula to me, if the Brawn tribe loses a bunch early, she's going to go.
Okay.
I think she's going to try to be too much with everybody. I'm very honest, sometimes too honest. Mm-hmm. I could see her being like, I want to work both sides.
Or she could get like swapped into something where like she doesn't have many allies, or, you know, that kind of thing too.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, she looks fine, happy, all that stuff. Like, so I don't have like I don't necessarily have a problem with Ursula. I just don't think she's going to go. I don't have high hopes for Ursula. Although somebody was saying she's been all over the promo stuff, which Australian Survivor tends to show the promo stuff of people who do well. So maybe Ursula should be a winner pick.
There we go.
Depends how much you want to read into it. Is the last person?
Guy, yes. The worst.
Wow. The worst, says McKenna. Zen Heaton, 23, Gold Coast, Queensland. Probably the hardest part of the game for me personally is going to be having to allow someone else to take control, having to hide the testosterone levels and simmer down the level of intelligence and play, not dumb, but play under and allow someone to take the leadership position. This will be the hardest part. To win, I will definitely utilize my influence, persuasion, and psychological tricks. I wouldn't say manipulation, but I'll definitely be using my influence to get what I want. Hip hop artist. He kind of gives me Zach vibes. The one who played twice, who the first time on Shawnee's season was like, women are stupid and I don't respect him. And the second time was like, okay, I was kind of joking, guys. Like, I want to be social, and Shawnee actually liked him. So everybody started to like him more. He kind of gives me those vibes of like a little into himself, not in the best way.
Though I do say that he's the worst, but it is like my ideal ally. I love like an overconfident, like ego-driven guy, and it's like, you know how to manipulate them because you know the moves that they're going to make. So I feel like he's going to come out in front and feel like he's in front, and then behind his back or in confessionals, he's going to have like this brigade behind him saying like, yeah, we know he's like thinking he's this kingpin, but you know, he's going to get got later, but we'll use him for now.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think that's totally fair. Yeah, sometimes you let the ego go. I mean, the hardest part of the game for me is going to be having to allow someone else to take control. That's bad. That's the worst.
Testosterone driven, having to hide the testosterone levels and simmer down, like, come
That's not good.
on.
I know. That's how I talk when I'm joking. That's not how I talk when I'm about to go on TV.
Yeah, right? Like, this guy thinks he's serious, and I'm just like, "I can't with this. I can't."
All right, we're low on Zen. All right, let's go
I'm
back
low
to.
on Zen. You could be high on Zen if you'd like,
I'm
but
not high on Zen. Okay. All right, let's go winner picks and first ones out. So who's your first boot? Who is that on the? Is that Paulie on the end?
Yeah, with the blue shirt.
And you said he gives you Peter vibes. Look at that pose and tell me that is Peter vibes. Get out of here with that. Look
I
at that
didn't look at
pose.
this one. I didn't look at this photo.
He's giving like Freddie Mercury vibes before going
Yeah,
on
alright.
stage. He's got the mustache
Alright,
popping.
this was not a good comparison.
Oh my God, that's funny. No, that's just funny. And then the one guy does, PD does look like Tony,
Oof. Yeah,
the bald one.
the bald head.
Okay. All right. All right. All right. All right. All right. So I'm gonna go first this time.
Mhm.
Because we kind of already got your answers, but I'm gonna make you solidify it anyway. Male winner for this season. I gotta remember the names. That guy, Jesse.
Mhm.
That's my male for this one. And I'm gonna go with Candy as the female. Yeah, I have to agree with you. I hate to do that. Although, no, you know what? I won't go with Candy because I don't want to play. I don't want to be boring. Sorry, everybody. I have to, the names are not coming. I'm going with Morgan. That's my winner pick. I'm going with Morgan. So Morgan and Jesse are the two I'd go with here. And my first boot is Nash. I think if he's coming out playing that hard, we saw what happened for Russell Hantz when he played Australian Survivor too hard.
Yeah, or
I'm out
Redemption
on him.
Island. Yeah.
And I am a little bit worried for Denham and Noonan. Honestly, Braun Tribe gives way worse vibes than the Brains Tribe. Oh my God.
Really does. Really does. Yeah, Candy locking that in for winner pick. Also overall winner pick, I'd say I'd also pick Candy, but then for my men, you know what? Let's go with Ben. He
Okay.
didn't give me bad vibes. Um and I feel like I have the most trust in Ben here to go the furthest. Um, First boots. Um, the hope is Zen just flames out beautifully. And then I guess what was her face? Kristen. Kristen.
No, I like Kristen. Look at
I
Kristen in the post. Kristen's wearing a jumpsuit or whatever that overalls. Kristen's killing it.
I mean I had to pick Noonan. I don't know.
What I think is funny about this picture though is Morgan is an Olympic sprinter dressed like she was in the Olympics in Atlanta in 96. Like what are we doing with the outfit here, Morgan? Like it's okay to be an Olympic sprinter in
Well, go back
2025.
to go back to the full cast photo.
All right, we're ripping through. There
And
it
then
is.
she's like you can't really tell in this one, but like she's like photoshopped into this with squatting. But it
Oh yeah,
looks
she's blatantly not in that photo.
yeah.
She's wearing an Oregon 1982. Is that Prefontaine? No, Prefontaine was the 70s, wasn't he? Let's see. Steve Prefontaine was, yeah, he was in the 70s. What would be Oregon 1982? I'm trying to determine what that means. As a ex-runner myself, I should know this.
Phil and McKenna, without spoiler anything, is this season could be a final 3 or final 2 of Australian Survivor Brain.
What do you want, a 3 or 2?
I like it 2. Give me a final 2.
Did they continue to do final 2s? I know all the way through All Stars they did final 2s. Do they continue to do them?
It would be great if I remembered. I feel like honestly, I cannot remember.
I feel like the final 2s in Australian Survivor have worked.
I think they went into 3s.
Okay.
But I like final 2s a lot more because I think even though you're more susceptible for one person to get all of the votes, I feel like the battle between 2 people is better than having someone clearly getting 0.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter to me either way, honestly. I think final threes or final twos, they're both fine. I don't
Mm.
care. I don't care. I feel like that's like the one thing Survivor fans complain about the most that like really has little impact, in my opinion. There you go. HVV was 3. Titans versus Rebels was, I don't know. I haven't watched Titans versus Rebels. So anyway, there you go. That's
There you
it.
go. We did it.
We did it. We got through all 24. Thank you all for listening. There you go. We got our coverage coming up. I don't think we have any other preseason coverage planned for this.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think we're planning to do anything, especially with the US version announcing their cast so early. We have so much coming up with US stuff right now. So Will and I will be live with Russell Muscle TV on Wednesday at 6 p.m. doing our over-under game. Next Wednesday, we'll be live with Peridium at 6 p.m. doing our prop bet game. And then on the 19th, we'll be live with Blake doing the fantasy game. I'll be putting out my Survivor 48 boot order predictions episode. That'll be coming this Wednesday. Blake and I are podcasting with Philip Solomon from Deal or No Deal Island. He will be on. We're recording that at 1. I don't know what time we'll be able to post it live, barring anything bad happening. Should be able to be live right at like 2:30. And then on Thursday, Will and I will be doing the traders. So the next time you're probably going to hear from us about Australian Survivor will be on the 17th.
The premiere.
We're going to do our best to make sure we can get that out right then and there. Again, we're both new to watching this live. So if we struggle, we overpromised week 1 and we apologize. But at worst, we do 1 episode every single week. So that's what we're doing. Gannon, I'm excited for the AU coverage. If it's anything like the last 2 seasons, we're all in for a treat. I'm excited to become a patron, patreon.com/thespecialist. If you would like to hear me talk more about Australian Survivor, join in at the $10 tier. McKenna's going to be joining me once I get through All Stars and starting on Brains versus Brawn 1. We'll be doing the whole season 3 episodes at a time. So that'll be about 8 weeks and it should line up exactly perfectly with this version of Australian Survivor as well. Also got plenty of other stuff going on. Will, Blake, and I are talking about Survivor China. John and I are doing movie stuff. We got Survivor Rock Draw casting. We got too much going on. McKenna will be back with Survivor Rewind. So much. So thank you all so much for listening. Hope you enjoyed this. Let us know what your takes are on this cast right at the bat. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you in 2 weeks.
See ya.